good evening. Have a great show, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Deb. You have a good evening yourself.
All right. Thank you, live chat.
Wow. We are definitely got a good show for everybody tonight. Welcome to another Saturday night episode of Your Voice, Your Call right here on PSB. And tonight, the co-host Dianna is sitting there in the wings ready to go. We got some good stuff. Hello, Dianna. How are you this evening? And you are muted.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. So glad to see you.
You know what? All I can think of is Batman.
I love Batman. Come on now. Yes, Batman's here to the rescue. And Derik, as always, from the Common Sense Show, and our producer, and loves his 2 cents. He jumps in with us. Derik, how are you this evening, sir?
I am just peachy, and I am glad that I did not wear my Batman Under Armour shirt, knowing what I know now.
No, you can put the Robin shirt on.
No.
Oh, no. Man. And we are going to have some fun tonight. We will be having a special guest joining us here shortly. Wait for him to log in. And guess what, everybody? We are going to try call-ins. That's right. We're going to work on some call-ins tonight and see if you want to join the show. We'll get to that momentarily. And so let's get the opener going. We'll be right back with you momentarily. And stay tuned. This is going to be a great night. We're going to have a lot of fun. Aren't we, guys? We're going to have too much fun tonight. Almost criminal.
As we move through space on this blue marble we call Earth, a future of uncertainty, we're being censored and told what we can and cannot do. There is a voice amongst all. For all of us, that voice is.
Ooh, I like that music. I do like that music. And eventually, we're going to work on the updated opener and closer too. And I am so tickled. Tonight, we're just going to have way too much fun. Dianna, what do you think?
I want to know what you're eating.
Well, I got what you said. Your signal's a little weak, but I am eating cucumbers. Hey, got to eat healthy.
During the show?
Off to the side when you guys are talking, I'll jump in there and and see what. Oh, really, Derik?
Derik's giving you the thumbs down. Oh my! Well, and what are you drinking?
Tea and, of course, my wine.
Cucumbers and wine, Derik. What are we going to do, Derik? What are we going to do with him?
He only has one person to blame when he starts hopping around like a bunny.
Oh my God!
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, no one will have to see me eat it. I promise you that. Hello, everybody. Sons of Liberty. Glad you're all joining us tonight. Jack, everybody, I see you all out there. Thank you for tuning in. We love y'all. So, and handling our call-ins this evening is a fellow host and friend of the shows. And you all know him, Rooster. He's going to jump in and help because he's working with me to get the call-in to work. So he's going to help us out tonight. So I'm going to give you that number if you want to join the show, and we'll let you know when the lines are open. And you can jot this down. I'll drop it into chat. The number tonight to call in is 855-616-1776. And we hope to hear from you as the show goes on. We're going to talk about a lot of subjects. And momentarily, our guest, Doc Green, will be joining us. That's going to be a lot of fun, Dan. I can't wait to hear from him. Been a little bit.
Can I call in?
Can you call in?
Well, it's funny she brings that up, Chris, because she may get a better signal calling in than she will through her computer.
Oh, Daddy's going to start ripping into you now, isn't he?
You know what? The best part of that was the look on your face, Chris. You were like, huh?
I was surprised. Okay.
Crash test helmets may be required.
Yeah. All right. So, if you do want to call in, you want to join the show on the subjects we talk about tonight, I put in the numbers in there. We've got them out there, and Rooster will handle that for us because I'll be able to see how it's working, and we'll be able to do it eventually here. And so, definitely join us. And we want to hear from you. So, yes, we're bringing back call-ins, Dianna. I can't wait. This is going to be good. See what we get. Anyhow, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of different subjects while we're waiting for Dot to come on. And we sent over his info, so the info for him to join us here before long. Everybody knows him, Dot Green. He's awesome. I love him. So, Dianna, you had an interesting subject. We can go ahead and jump right on that one that you're telling me about a little earlier. That happened today. Awesome. I love it.
Well, I didn't cue the video, but that's all right. I'll just explain it. So
Okay.
we have been in the town of Swampscott doing rallies for over a year now. Once a week we're there. We've had a lot of trouble up there with BLM, with some anarchists, with the police. So today we were there from 10 a.m. to noon. And right towards the end of, maybe it was like 10 of 12, there were two women that were walking by, and we were right on the boardwalk of the beach. And one of them yelled over, America would nothing without China. Something to America without China. Anyways, she kept walking, and then she turned back and she went over to the bench where we had some signs, and she tried to destroy them, and somebody tried getting them from her. And so she left, and I followed her to, because we were calling the police because we were going to press charges against her. So she ended up going into a restaurant, and we called the, they basically, one of the police officers was told me, or told the person who owned the signs that they would have to press charges themselves because it didn't happen in front of a police officer. And I went, what? That's not true. Anyway, it was very uncomfortable with the police. We had 5 people that witnessed this. And the moral of the story is, it may seem picayune. Oh, we have a call from Canada. It may seem picayune, but we have to do this, because too bad if people don't like us, don't like what we're doing, if we're just standing there minding our own business. We were holding signs that said, "In God we trust." You know, for this person to come over and decide to destroy our property, they don't get a pass. They do not get a free pass. So it is on video. You can see her walking back and doing things on this bench. So the woman actually lied to the police and said that she didn't do it. Well, sorry, Chickie. We have you on video. We have you on video, and now you're going to get charged with destruction of property. So anyway, so that was the big thing that happened today in Massachusetts. And you can't back down from bullies. You can't. The reason they do this, Chris and Derek and everybody else, is because we let them get away with it. We say, oh, we can't be bothered, right? Let this woman hire an attorney, take a day off of work, and go to court. And maybe she'll stop her behavior. And that's one commie checked off the list.
Nice.
That's the story.
Your bandwidth is a little low too. It's choppy, but that's okay.
I don't know why I'm plugged in. I don't know why.
That's okay. We'll work on that, going on that. So we have
Can you
a call in as well.
Can you send somebody here to work on it?
From here?
Yeah, send
I was
send the
out there
rooster.
getting set up for you.
Send the rooster.
I'll phone a favor in from a guy in China.
Oh, oh, Derek, you did not. Oh, wow. So this is great. Hey, we got Sons of Liberty said he's raising his hands. Dianna, he'll come up and help you. Well, Sons of Liberty, you guys are gonna have to get to talk there, and so we can get her.
I need some bodyguards too.
Yes. So we have somebody on the line, and let's see what they say. Rooster, go ahead, caller. Are you there? Rooster, we'll put it through. Or did we lose him?
Yeah, you lost him.
Oh. Oh, when they call in, don't hang in there. We'll get to you. We want to hear from you. So we're dropping the call-in number there and there at 855-616-1776. Also, you can text it, and you text your questions and whatnot. We can take care of you there too as well.
What's the number again?
855-616-1776. I also dropped in the link in there that you can go to. So we'll check that out. All right. So when we get a caller in, we'll go into our, all right. So there we go. Make a noise so it comes up on the screen. Diana's showing it and it's not showing up there. Make some noise.
Hello. I'm
There it
making
is.
noise. I'm making noise. There you go. It's right there.
Yeah, all
I'm
right.
gonna call.
Yeah, like Derek said, it might come in. Better call in. Oh my
Hello,
goodness.
Chris. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Like Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now? So I wanted to ask everybody out there, and including you, Derek, Dianna, and I wanted to get what you thought because I think it's part of what we discussed before about cancel culture. Has anybody out there heard the term code switch? Anybody out there in chat? Anyone heard that term code switch at all? Diana's shaking her head no. Derek, have you ever heard that term? No. I never heard of it till just the other day during a show here locally. And new format. You have heard of it. Yes. All right. Everybody's catching on, getting what it is. That's right. It is part of the cancel culture, Marxist nonsense. It's also the technical term is basically somebody of one race will talk as another race. Like a white person might talk like they're black, or black might talk like white, or vice versa. And this is what they're doing in schools and teaching their kids. Did you know that? Along with their agenda. I am really floored at this because it makes absolutely no sense to pretend to be something you're not. I think that's the best way to put it. So that's why I was surprised. I didn't hear about it till this the other day. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this nonsense? And yes, it's apparently true. So I didn't know if anybody out there heard of it or if I'm just nuts and, didn't hear it. And so what does it mean and why do people do it? So some people say, it's because they do it for professional reasons. Some because, you gotta have some kind of, I don't know, this is just nuts. But here's a technical, it's divided into two types: language-based, culture-based. According to a psychologist, race relations expert and author, why are all the black kids sitting together in the cafeteria? I mean, this is nonsense, everybody. So a bilingual person might use one language to speak to some people and another language to speak to others, or a language at home, another at school. Culture code switching is similar, but not only limited to language. It also refers to expressions as well as style of dress, physical mannerisms, and other forms of self-presentation. In other words, we're going to pretend we're something we're not. And I think that's a little bit of a problem there, don't you? I mean, we should not pretend something that we're not. It is about behavior. And it goes on. So what are examples? Oh, yeah, here we go. Some examples of this. Let me get rid of this little thing here. Is including changing your language or dialect in order to assimilate. in the predominant culture. Dianna, you know what that means, simulating to the culture?
Yeah, I'm actually pretending to be the co-host of a podcast.
Well, you are a co-host. What do you mean pretending to be? I mean, oh my gosh. It can also include primary speaking English as the first language in Spanish or speaking standard American English, another environment, even though they commonly speak African American vernacular English, another dialect of English at home or with family. Now, this is not saying people, if you can speak multiple languages, that's how it's getting at. Because obviously, if you're in another country or you're talking to somebody with whatnot, you're going to say hi, howdy, et cetera, right? Well, this kind of ticks me off when they get into this, talking about this this nonsense. I don't know what to think about it, guys. I just think it's absolutely crazy. You know what I mean?
It's communism, Chris.
Yeah, so everybody catch on to this.
It's communism.
Yeah.
Read it through, right? This is so how you can connect with another person. It's more than bullshit. That's what it is. It's bullshit. Beep.
Yep. Yeah, you just summed it up for me. I don't even have to scroll down, man. You summed that one up pretty good for us there, because that is exactly what this is.
Ruin it for you.
No, hey, you did. You nailed it before I even got a chance to. I love it. That's great minds think alike. So we have a couple more callers on. All right, so we got let's see who's first up there. We got someone from Chicago. Is that the first caller, Rooster? All right, so
Hell.
Let's see who's first up there. We got
Evergreen Park.
Chicago. Is that where's the echo coming from? Rooster, I think you got an echo. Okay, is the caller there? Or is it part of, I don't know, Rooster's working on this here. We had him, I heard somebody. Hello?
Yeah, this is the person you call Vigilate.
Well, howdy, we have a call in.
Hello?
There you are.
Am I
Yeah, we can hear you, but Rooster, you got an echo on our end. Somehow you're back on us.
Yeah, okay. The person you call Vigilator, actually it's pronounced in Latin, it's Latin, it's pronounced Vigilator, but you can call me Vigilator. All good.
Yeah. Hey, Rooster, can you turn your, I'm gonna say your laptop down and
Chicago here. Chicago bleeding through.
Yeah, we're hearing the show leaking back. Somebody has got something on where you can hear the show back feed through the thing. Might be you, caller.
That's better. No, it wasn't me. It's not me.
No, it was me. You got 3 of us on this line here.
We got 3 people?
Yeah, you got Chicago here. I just turned down that sound. That was me.
Okay, well, hello there.
You got somebody, you got some. Hey, this is a party line. Yeah!
It is a party line. That's what I was thinking.
That's awesome.
You got a pool of Patriots.
Well, so who's...
I'll let my brother from Canada go ahead.
So who's this from Chicago? What's your name?
Hey, this is Scott from Evergreen Park in Chicago.
Well, hello, Scott. You're calling in. What's your what do you want? What's your calling about?
Well, I didn't know which way you were going tonight. Were you going the supernatural realm, or you were going just with the natural wisdom? We checking in with the prophets. We looking at volcanoes and Bigfoot or UFOs, or I didn't know where to start with you.
Well, tonight we just were touching on a subject about code switching and cancel culture and the nonsense that does.
Well, I don't have a mask on. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be wearing a mask while you're on the phone.
Do you have to be vaccinated to call in?
No, you do not have to be vaccinated to call in. Oh my gosh.
Okay, you guys have fun. I'll let you go. Let's hear from Canada. Oh, Canada! Yeah, hey, I love you guys. Go Patriots!
Yeah, this is Vigilator, or as you call me, Vigilator. I actually, it's pronounced Vigilator in Latin, but that's okay. You can call me what you like.
So who's that there? Who's that one out of Canada?
Yeah, Vigilator.
All righty. So do you have a comment or question?
Yeah. Well, no, I wanted to call in because I had a chance. I had a chance to call in, and I just wanted to say I love your show. This is probably my favorite bunch of us on air here, almost, pretty much. I like the research aspect of the program. I like the especially the deep research that we get from some of you folks, and all the people, the researchers and the people who explore the breadcrumbs and all that. My question is, when are we going to have something happen? Like I am so frustrated. I've been you guys for like 4 years with Trump, and like, when is something going to happen? We heard something was going to happen in March. We heard something was going to happen in April and in May, and like, what is you guys' thoughts on like what is actually going on? Like, I feel like I really need some information and some care.
As far as what is President Trump coming back or what?
Well, yeah, like is Trump still the exchequer of the world, or he made himself the exchequer of the world? Is he still, or he's not the president of the United States, but is he still controlling the Fed, or like what's going on? Like I need information. I think we all need information here. So like, help us out.
Well, let's see.
With the research, right?
My thought is, behind the scenes, maybe, and maybe he might run again. I don't think he's disappeared, but he's probably doing something behind the scenes. I think Dianna, Derek might have a more of an insight on that. Derek, what do you think, buddy?
Wow. Man, that's I think the first aspect of that is obviously we talked about this last week that there's nothing in the Constitution that's going to allow, obviously, President Trump to come back as of right now and fix the crises with an S, and that's probably with a capital S when it comes to the Biden regime. We just have to make sure, as Dianne continually to preaches 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that we do not let Agenda 2030 take over, and we don't let the little Chinese men take over and spread their communism. I think that's the battle we're facing now. It sucks that we're stuck with Joey for the time being. Because I think we knew before the election that if he even sniffed, and no pun intended, close to the White House, that it would be a dumpster fire. I don't think any of us understood how quickly this dumpster fire would blow out of control, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, we're 120 days. Give or take, away from President Trump, removed from the White House. You have, we're not energy independent anymore. Certain parts of the country have no gas, and now you have rockets being shot off in the Middle East. Wasn't it President Trump, again, by the media, that said we were supposed to be in World War III by the first time, by the first week that he was inaugurated? And
we're very close. I try not to interrupt you, but I think we're very close, because I was watching a live stream on YouTube today, which was from Israel, from Gaza, from the border of Gaza. And with my own eyes, I watched Israel blow up a building, and it collapsed, like an apartment building, like a civilian apartment building on the border of Gaza.
I can't. I can't.
It was hard.
What is taking place in Israel is absolutely heartbreaking. You're 100% spot on. I can't, and I won't disagree with you that it's there. There's the potential's there. But I think the scary part in all this, it's heartbreaking for people that may have family in Israel, absolutely. But the heartbreaking part of this, and this is something that I've harped on all week, not on here but on other shows as well, is the Israelis sent a message, and in my opinion, this is a loud and clear message to the Biden regime that they have no confidence in the Biden regime at all. They want no help from the United States military, and just to put that in context, and I'll let you speak, but the Israelis are the best ally the United States has in the Middle East. And that's been like that, since probably the Reagan administration, if not longer. But now they send a message saying that they don't want our help because they have no confidence in the current regime that is occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That ought to scare you.
Okay. Derek, that what you said absolutely rings true, and that is, I agree with you. I think Israel is a strong power in the Middle East. They're important in the Middle East. I do think that the government there is corrupted, as is our most major Western governments by the deep state. But I don't have much confidence in that regard. But I do think that they are, a stronger, more important ally that we have over there, and that is. But when I say building a apartment building being bombed to the dust, that kind of really, it's heartbreaking, and it's hard to accept.
It is. You're absolutely right. But to your point though, and Diane, and I see Diane has her hand eloquently raised. To your point though, they are the only ally the United States has in the Middle East. Diane, go ahead.
Let me disagree. How do we know anything? We can't trust anything. We can't trust any news. We can't trust it. You can't, just because they showed a building being bombed, you can't trust it. We don't know if in fact that really happened just because we saw it, number one. Number two, a lot of times the other side will put rocket launchers into these buildings. They don't care if there are kids there. They don't care if they're elderly. They don't care if it's a hospital. But we don't know. We can't trust any of the media. Nothing.
This was to be fair, I will source this. This was a live stream from RT, which is the Russian news channel on YouTube.
Yeah, they're
informational.
Yeah, you don't know what's in that building. You don't know, because the other they're known to put rocket launchers and all kinds of things in buildings with civilians, right? So we don't know. We don't know what they were doing, right? That's all I'm saying. I have
to agree with Dianna on that too. Now, caller, I do appreciate your input there. Our guest is logging in here, and we want to get him in. So I want to welcome in our guest, Doc Green.
Well, I want to thank Dianna Ploss for helping me with the login, because somehow I'd misplaced it. So God bless her.
Well, I sent it over to Ron to get it to you.
Hey, Doc, turn your gain down a little bit.
All right. I hate to overgain anything.
Oh, you're good there. All right. Caller. So here we're going to speak with Doc for a little bit, get his thought on this, and then we'll come back to another caller here shortly. Doc, how have you been, sir? I'm glad you could join us tonight.
Well, we've been doing it down here. We had a big rally today here in Houston, and it was just a freedom rally, and we were here to discuss how sick and tired we are of these tyrants in government that have been stealing our rights. And so we had a good time. We had a good crowd down there, and several of my friends showed up and spoke. And we're going to do another one on the 31st up at the Capitol. We're going to be on the south steps of the Capitol.
Oh, nice.
Because if we don't get something going here pretty shortly, guys, we're going to lose the whole thing. And I'll tell you today, I told the people, I said, I don't think we can save the United States. I'm not sure we could save Texas, but I'm pretty sure we can't save the United States at this point.
But where are you seeing things going right now?
Well, straight to hell in a handbasket. We've got the leftists now completely in charge, and for those that probably haven't been following this as close, I doubt if any of those are in your audience, Chris, quite frankly, but the people that are actually running this thing, Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice, the power behind the throne, and of course they are being operated by George Soros and his minions, or the people that control George Soros, because he's not the big cheese either. Mm-hmm. And they just want to morph us into this globalist enterprise under a beneficent dictator, I think is the way they'd frame it. And that's where they're going. And right now, there's just not much that's slowing it down. The recent pipeline debacle, I don't think that was an accident, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Russians.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree with you. And in fact, I made a comment that if you can hack a pipeline, why can't you hack a voting machine?
you want me to drop something in on that?
Yeah. I'm not the host. I'm just here.
Right. I have it on good authority that what you just said about it not being the Russians, let's say that happened from within.
That's what I think. That's what I've seen, and I think what they said. Well, the ransom note wasn't Russian. Do you think the Russians would write a Russian ransom note? I don't think so.
Two 3-letter agencies.
Oh yeah, yep. Charlie is an ass. That's one of them.
That would be one. Yes. You want to take a shot in the dark? Who the other one is?
Oh, I will.
No such agency. Probably that would be the other big one.
No.
Chris has a thought.
Fudge is baked.
Yeah.
Oh well.
The FIB.
No, the Phoebes are completely corrupt, and this started back during the Clinton administration. And so the Phoebes are totally corrupt, unusable organization, as is the Justice Department. The destruction of that started at the same time during the Clinton administration. So both of those are working together. They're both absolutely corrupt from the top to the bottom, which is one of the reasons why I think that we really have nothing left to work with, guys. I mean, please give me that line of encouragement that I need.
Which one?
Yeah, you don't have one. I mean, look, I'm not wrong about this.
No.
They have taken everything. The Supreme Court, have you ever seen such a pack of worthless bastards and bastardettes as we now have on the Supreme Court? I'll leave Clarence Thomas out of that because I think Clarence Thomas is a sterling individual, and I feel pretty similar about Samuel Alito. I wouldn't give you 10 cents for the rest of them. You can't trust the Supreme Court. They've taken that away from us. You can't trust the Phoebes. They've taken that away from us. You can't trust Charlie is an ass. That was never a good organization. Of course, come to think of it, the Phoebes were founded by a transvestite cross-dresser. All of these are horrible, horrible organizations. And then what about our balloting machine? You cannot trust the ballots that come out of it. That's why they're fighting so hard down in Arizona right now to keep the truth from coming out. They have stolen that from us. I only see one thing that's left, and I'll let you guys weigh in on that one now.
What's one thing that's left?
Yes. What's the one last avenue that they have left us to secure our liberty?
Oh, they'd be barely at that if it's what I'm thinking.
Second Amendment.
I'll be right back.
I ran Dianna off. How about that?
The Second Amendment, because if you don't have the Second Amendment, you don't have the First Amendment.
Well, indeed. And, Alex Jones said it best. He said, the answer to 1984 is 1776. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any other valid options. And even here in Texas, we can't even legalize the Second Amendment here in Texas.
But you can use it.
Well, we can to a certain degree. On the other hand, if you try to go to the store and buy a fully automatic AR-15 or an M16, you can't. You can't buy a select fire. I mean, you could if you go through all of the hoops, but then you're going to pay $25,000 for it, and then the ammo's still $1 a round. So, how much of that are you going to use, my friend?
Yeah, you're going to be lucky to get. Oh, I know what you mean there. If you're just tuning in, our special guest tonight, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you could come on here, is Doc Green, and he is from the right side of the mic. And I'm so glad you could join us and take a little time out of your busy schedule for us this evening, Doc.
Well, I'm really glad that you guys still let me even come on here and talk. Of course, tonight could be the last night, but I'm.
Oh, you're always welcome on. Always.
But I'm grateful because I know that everybody on this show and most of the people in your chat, I saw the trolls in there, but most of the people in your chat love this country and would like to save it.
Yes.
And I am in that camp. I'm an American veteran. I loaned 3 of my sons to the government and got them all back in one piece. Thank you very much. My father, his father before me. We love this country, but it's gone. And unless something drastic happens, I heard the gentleman earlier saying, man, what's going on with Trump? Is he going to help us out here or not? Unless something drastic happens before December of this year, I am going to have to declare the United States of America as a dead organism.
Ah, that's really putting it right there. Yeah.
So then what's left? Second Amendment. That's what's left.
And they're working on trying to take that away.
They indeed are. I heard Dianna.
I got my wardrobe change.
She's so pretty.
Yes, she did that for. I love the earrings. I love the necklace. Guns. Yes, we. I have to agree with you, Doc. We have to firmly hold on to our Constitution, the Second Amendment, along with our First. But they are trying so hard to destroy the entire thing or change it, and I don't see how they think they can get away with that.
Well, who would have ever thought that they could get away with shutting down all the pipelines? I mean, first of all, you nix the XL pipeline, say no more of that crap, and then you shut down the other major pipeline on the East Coast. And I don't know what's going on. I have a friend that's in the pipeline business, and he told me he wanted to come on the show and talk, and now he doesn't return my calls. And I mean, this is a friend that I've had for almost 20 years. I mean, it's like we're actually friends, you know. I go to his house. Kind of friends, and now he doesn't want to talk. I am concerned.
He's not being silenced, is he, or is he just or what? I mean, the truth has to come out. And
there are some powerful forces at work, and you guys are all completely aware of that.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That's what I was going to say. That it would be concerned if hopefully something is going good, because when it comes down to it, we have to get this out, and if we don't, people aren't going to know, and then you're going to be sitting there like, you know, not knowing what's going on, and you're going to be left in the dust when the rest of us are trying to survive. And like you said, it didn't just magically get shut down, and they didn't hack it, or we'll say foreign country did not hack it. I've always thought that day one. I was like, no. This is our government doing it. Because I kept saying, what else could they do to us besides the V word we don't say, the virus part we don't say, and pushing the V and then pushing all this, and then bam, they're not surprising me with new stuff. What's after the pipeline? You know, what's next?
Well, I think we're going to see some pretty exciting things here in the next few months. And I'm still holding out hope, because I know there are some people out there that can do and might. But I don't know anything about that. It would be foolish for them to tell me anything about that, because there's nothing I can personally do to aid in that operation. But I can tell you this, I'm an old man, but I still have some skills, and I still remember a few things. So if they find a place where an old man could fit in, I'm there.
Nice. What do you think, Dianna?
I think I was raising my hand because if you lived in my state of Massachusetts, you would be in deep, deep despair because it's so bad here. It is when I go out, it's gut wrenching. The apartment buildings where they want us to live are going up so fast in every community. Right now, CVS, they're going to start Ving 12 to 15-year-old or 12 to 18-year-old or something like that. There are people, supposedly the mandate is gone, but yet people are still walking around with those diapers. I mean, it is so bad here. However, the problem, the way I see it, is that we have people, and no offense to Doc, because Doc, I believe that you are somebody that will put your money where your mouth is. But I hear especially a lot of guys talk about, how they're going to do this, they're going to do that. We can do things right now. We can work outside of the system. But for some reason, everybody thinks they have to work inside the system. They have to fix the system. No, get out of your corrupt churches. Pull your children right now. Don't let them go back to school Monday. Pull your children out of school, right? Disconnect the cable. There's so many things that we could do. If we did it, we could win this. We could win this, but people don't even have the courage to not wear a stupid face diaper.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But we can do this. Homeschool your children. Why would you send your kids to these abusive indoctrination centers and then make them wear that thing? What? Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. They're getting rid of critical race theory, but they got everything else. You have to call a boy of them. I mean, come on. What the hell is wrong with people? Come out, take your kids right out, take them out. Do what you have to do. Sell your second car, get rid of the cell phones, whatever you have to do. It's that simple, Doc. It really is.
It really is. And of course, when I had younger children, I did all of those things. I said, enough is enough. Let's get out of the government indoctrination system. And we did. And it was hard because I didn't make that much money. But we did what we had to do. We worked it out, and now it's paying dividends.
Yeah.
Right. So,
No.
So I'm sorry. So when they say hop onto this train car because we're going to keep the V's separated from the non-V's, right? All these people, they're just going to go right in.
Yep.
That's what we see here in my state. Other states aren't as bad. It could not get worse here. And it will. And it will get worse.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of getting worse, Doc, have you noticed, I always say the CDC flip-flops more than fish out of the water. And now they are allowing 12-year-olds to take what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the reason they're doing that is because this is mass sterilization. As you're well aware of, there are a number of people that do the jab, and then the next thing you know, perfectly healthy people, 48 hours later, heart attack, whatever. They have all kinds of names for it. But then they're gone. It's never about the vaccine, by the way. Yep. And then we've got a lot of women now, and even women who did not get the jab, but were in the proximity of other women who did get the jab, and now they're having all kinds of reproductive problems. This is going to be mass sterilization. And here's the thing. If you take that jab box and there's usually a little piece of paper that's all folded up in there and you unfold it and it's like a poster-sized paper. Well, the one in the jab box is blank. There's nothing on it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's nothing on it. It doesn't give you the side effects. It doesn't tell you exactly what's in there. You should probably look up what's the word for it? I forget. Recombinant DNA. Yeah, look up recombinant DNA, you guys. Find out what that is and say, yeah, I want that.
Yeah. And well, I've been saying that. They say that it can affect the RNA, and then you're sitting there going, people going, well, that's nothing. Well, that's your building block of your DNA. So
that's it. And recombinant DNA, I heard one doctor talking about it, said, yeah, what we do is we encapsulate this in a special way, because if we just injected this into your body would immediately reject it and kill it. So we have to put it in a little capsule-like device. We're talking about, real tiny stuff here, micro stuff, to micro-encapsulate it so that your body doesn't know it's there until it's too late.
Right. And then, like you said, have heart attacks, or when you're giving it to a 12-year-old, sterilization or anything can happen at that point, and their body's still developing. So,
yes, indeed. I see in the chat room we have an Alabaman scuba girl, and she said, yeah, we're off COVID emergency. Well, we are too in Texas, though I think Alabama's probably got a lot more liberty than Texas does. But now you go into stores and they say, yeah, well, the governor said we didn't have to wear a mask, but we, the store, we still make sure that you have to wear a mask, in which case I say, well, I'll make sure I'll never shop here again.
Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely. So if anybody wants to jump in on this conversation with our guest, Doc, you are more than welcome to call in. And I don't know, Rooster, do we have somebody on with this subject?
We got allies in queue, but she's got a different topic. The talk about the other caller we had on, thinking America's dead.
Okay, I'll bring her in.
All right.
And what's her name again?
Hi, Chris. My name is Owl Eye. That's what I'm going by.
Well, hello, Owl Eye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I think you and Dianna have. I'm doing good.
Well, thank you.
I want to say I think
we like to watch the
Dianna
show.
has great. I'm sorry, you're sounding choppy.
I don't know if what end is that's on there. It might want you on your end so you don't have that echo going on.
It's Zoom.
It's you, Chris. Chris, you're echoing.
I'm good.
Chris sounds good to me.
Not me.
Miss Cush, she said, I'm scared.
You and Dianna.
Yeah, someone's echoing.
You and Dianna have great chemistry.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Try.
No, I'm actually not trying.
Well, what is your question?
The reason I'm calling in is I disagree with the doc that's on.
Okay, disagree with me, please.
Okay, you wanted some thoughts about,
yes,
our country going to hell.
Help me out. Lay it out for me.
This is my thought. So, and I'm not exact because I've been listening to this stuff for 4 years, so I get confused sometimes with whatever. But it seems like there was something about the 14th Amendment where if you commit treason against the country, then you're going to be locked up and executed. And let's face it, our whole government is treasonous. They've committed sedition and treason against this country. And what I think will end up happening is they will eventually all be arrested and tried for their crime. And we won't have a government for a while. And I think the military is going to step in and take control of the government. And I think in the meantime, Trump will be doing his rallies to pull this country back together, at least attempt to pull the country back together. And it seems like I heard something too about if you are a president and you have proven treason and sedition against the sitting president of the United States, and their impeachment attempts have failed, it seems like I remember something about that president is entitled to redo his presidency for those 4 years. And essentially, that would mean Trump would be able to redo his presidency, not only for his initial 4 years, excuse me, but if it's proven, if he has actually won this election, then why would he also not be entitled to do these 4 years without even us having an election? What's your thought?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Pollyanna, and I'm going to rename you Pollyanna. I love everything that you just said. I just wish it were true. I'm reminded of the movie Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? Because right now, the military is also completely corrupted. All of the good military guys were flushed. Now, unless some of them decide to form their own little paramilitary group, a.k.a. a militia, you can discount the military entirely because there's not a court anywhere in the United States that's got an honest judge in it. So you can't count on the court system. You can't count on the Phoebes. You can't count on the Injustice Department. So I just don't see how what you're fostering here could come to be. I would love it. I absolutely would love it. And there was a time when I was really holding out hope for it, but that time has passed. So that's my thoughts on it. And I'm not telling you that to beat you down. I'm telling you that because I want you to make some additional plans. What if that doesn't happen? Then what are you going to do?
Well, I have my water, I have my supplies, I have my ammo and my guns. I mean, if it comes to that point, and it might. You know, I'm not saying it won't, but I'm also saying that I still believe that Trump and his people did not go through 4 years of hell to lose this country. I don't believe that. And yes, there are corrupt judges, and I think these corrupt judges are going to go down too. I think there's a whole lot of people that's going to go down.
Well, I can guarantee you're right on this. There's a whole lot of people that should go down. There's no question about it. The government is absolutely corrupt on multiple levels, and I believe that we are in time of war, and the proper punishment for treason is death. But I'm not even sure treason is still a crime anymore in America, in the modern world.
Well, my thoughts too is I think this is just my thought, because they said, I think it was said that the first arrest is going to shock the world or whatever. My thoughts are, I think Fauci will be the first arrest. And with Fauci, I think he's going to take down the CDC, NIH, World Health Organization. And I think everything is going to be a domino effect. And I think everybody is going to go down from there.
I love the idea. We already know that Fauci funded and to a certain degree headed the COVID-19 research. And he actually said a couple of years ago that the next president's going to have to deal with this epidemic. He said that. We know that he is. But I've been hearing the, quote, first arrest phrase for 4 years. And the first arrest turned out to be General Flynn, who's one of the good guys. So who are you going to call? That's where I'm back to, because there's nobody you can trust. Did you happen to watch that show, Person of Interest? Because I think that series laid it out better than anything I've ever seen.
I'm kind of curious if there's
Yes, I'm asking you if you watched the show Person of Interest.
No, I've just seen snippets from Mike Lindell and Lynn Wood, and I've been following when Rudy was doing his thing with the with that girlie there. What was her name? Jennifer, or whatever. And I've been just sort of dipping into a little bit of everything and just sort of coming up with my own synopsis. I think what happened to Michael Flynn and some of the people that's been arrested, it's totally unfair, and it just goes to show the lengths that they'll go to, which we've heard there is nothing that they won't do.
Well, that's true.
There is nothing that they won't do.
They're not done yet with Trump. They're still planning on executing Trump. They plan to bring him into court. They plan to find him guilty, and they plan to execute him. But in person of interest, the reason I brought that up, and I see Powder X has watched it, here's the thing. They thought they were going to solve the problem of corruption by taking it to the DA. What they didn't know was the DA was in on the corruption. And what they didn't know was the mayor was in on the corruption. And the point is, every time, and I'm sorry to give you a spoiler if you guys haven't watched it, it's still worth your time. But the point is, everybody in the chain of command was corrupt. Anyway, I see Derek's got his hand raised.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just. I think Diane has something. I think.
Go ahead, Diana.
Am I so? I'm going to talk to Owl Eyes. So I have been hearing the same thing for 2 years or 3 years, or it seems like an eternity. The problem with, and I hope that everything that you say is 100% true. I hope it's true. But what's happening is so many people are focused on that as being what will happen that they're inert. They're doing nothing because they are saying Trump has this, the military has this. And you say that you're all stocked up and everything, but meanwhile, their kids are still going to the indoctrination centers. They're still going to those indoctrination churches. They're still running for school committee. They still believe in their elected officials. That's the problem with saying that and holding on to hope without taking precautions, without doing anything else. So people need action right now. Instead of watching these videos that say that all of these people are executed, this is happening, that's happening, and they're spending all day sharing that information, they should be doing something. Homeschool your children. Get away from the government. Now is the time. Ring that bell, Doc. Ring that bell.
Yeah, and you get a bell if you say something really good. So whoever was in the chat room was complaining about the bell, you have to earn this bell.
Or you ask for it. You either
I like the bell.
earn it or ask for it.
Well, you don't get the bell just because you asked for it, because if it's not good, I'm not giving you the bell. But that was good, Diana.
I'm going to have to let you go, but I appreciate you calling and asking your questions.
No, but the thing is, I hear this all the time while people sit and all they're doing is watching these videos and sharing these videos. Meanwhile, because you guys have no idea what it's like if you're not living in this state. It is abominable. It is, you can't, I'm telling you, I am not a weak-hearted person or a weak-stomached person. But when I leave the house, I am traumatized each and every time. It's so bad here. And I have to listen to people tell me, Diana, no, President Trump has this. Okay, thanks very much. Thank you. Do nothing. Sit there, do nothing.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of leaning on both of you and your thoughts there. And I appreciate you calling in. Anytime, come back, check in and whatnot with us.
Ally, I like her.
Yes.
It was Owl Eyes. Owl Eyes. That was
Owl Eyes.
Owl. Who?
Now you got a little bit of echo on your end there, Diana. I like that. If you want to call in, the number we're dropping in there is 855-616-1776. And I'm going to ask you if you got the show in the background. You just back out turn it down a little bit so it don't echo. And we're still getting just a hair. In here somewhere. It might be somewhere in there. I don't know where. I'm good. Mine's showing me I'm clean.
Owl Eyes. Thank you.
I like that. So, Doc, what'd you think of that?
Well, she referenced some of these rumors that I've been hearing, and I got people that call me all the time, and some of them won't call me on the air because they don't want to discuss it on the air. But, I hear all these rumors about they're on Guantanamo, and they hung Hillary and all that stuff. I don't believe that. I just don't. I would, look, I'd like to, but I just don't. And I think if any of those things had happened, then a lot more would be happening. So it's apparently not. We are fighting for our lives here as Americans. The problem is everyone is so busy. They've got the school play. They've got the baseball game. They've got the football game. They've got the movie that they really want to see. They've got to have dinner with this person or that person. They're all too busy to get out and do what needs to be done. And as my good friend Johnny Johnson used to say, these people will continue to be sheeple as long as they have food in their belly and there's some sort of entertainment. They've taken away a lot of the entertainment, and guess what? Most of them are not prepared. When the diesel prices get to where they're going to go, which before Christmas will be somewhere around $6 to $8 a gallon, the trucks are going to come off the road at that point. And the grocery stores, what's on the shelves in the grocery stores, will be gone in 72 hours. And there's not going to be a replacement. And we experienced a little preview of that here in Texas. You might have heard hell did freeze over in South Texas. And it created a lot of problems, and some people went for it without electricity for over a week. I was prepared. I have a generator. I have food, and newmanna.com, NUMANNA, they sponsor my show. I have food. I have water. And so I was fine. I had my internet up, and I was able to do my shows and everything else. It was great. But when people run out of food, all hell is going to break loose. And Mama's going to tell Daddy, you get the hell out that front door and don't come back until you got food.
Right.
Well, at that point, here's a desperate man. And he's going to go out and he's going to get some food, and he'll do what he has to do to get it. When we get to that point, maybe some American patriots are going to wake up and say, we have to do something now. We can't just sit here. That's what I'm hoping. That's where I see the future. And Derik or Chris or Dianna, any one of you, jump in here and tell me I'm wrong. I'd appreciate it.
No, I think, Doc, I think you're absolutely spot on. People, if that does come to fruition, where Chris, I think you have an echo, by the way.
All of us, something's going on.
Well, when Doc talked, I didn't hear an echo, so I'm wondering if it's from you.
I'm hearing
because I can hear it now too.
I hear Dianna echo and me echo.
But yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on that when semis aren't on the road,
yep,
and there's no food to be delivered. See, I'm hearing echo now too. Some people are going to do. People are in desperate times. People are going to do desperate things, and I think you're absolutely spot on with that.
I wish it were different. And somebody said, "Gee, he's depressing." Well, I don't mean to be depressing. I'm here to tell you that you better get ready. Hyperinflation is around the corner. We're already seeing it right now. Your dollar is getting to where it buys virtually nothing. And anytime I get any little bit of extra cash, I either convert it into ammo or I convert it into silver, because the dollar is going to be absolutely worthless a year from now. We're talking about 1935 Germany, friends. That's what we're talking about.
That's heading that way.
No, so where do people think? I mean, look at what has happened. I was talking to somebody this evening. How much has changed in a year and a half? Where do you think this is going? In Massachusetts, I was in court on Wednesday. I was actually in the court, going into the courthouse. And the woman asked me, the court officer, have you been vaccinated? This is where we are. Where do you think we're going to go from here? If people don't do something, where do you think the next step is? That can you imagine that? have you been vaccinated? And I said, I don't feel like I want to tell you that. I said, what happens if I don't answer you? Well, then I have to ask you questions. Have you been with somebody who's had this? Have you, right? But if they're bold enough that they're asking you that, and this is not a one-off thing, they're asking everywhere. What is next? Like, what do people need? How much more information do people need before they're going to take action? I'm with Doc. Why are your kids still in these schools? Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Why are you going to these churches where the priests and the pastors are at the synagogues where they're making you wear a mask or they're pushing the V? If you're still doing that, you're part of the problem. We are in dire straits right now. Dire.
Yeah.
So call it depressing. It's reality. The truth hurts. And if people don't stand up, we're all going to fall. All of us.
Yeah, a slight echo somewhere. And I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, here's the thing, I'm a musician at heart, and I've made more money playing music in my life than I've made doing anything else I've ever done. I would like to, right now, at this point in my life, I'd like to be playing music 5 or 6 nights a week for people that really love music. And maybe I'd convert my radio show over to a music show, and we just talk about how cool music is, like Rick Beato or the Doctor of Rock. I mean, that's what I'd like to be doing. I just like to be coming on here and having fun, telling jokes, and enjoying life. I've got 10 grandchildren, though, and they're going to get what we hand them. They didn't get to vote on any of this. And so I feel the need to do everything I can in my power to fight to try to give them that representative constitutional republic that was given to us by our founding fathers.
Exactly. I have to agree with Doc on this one. 100%, sir.
Well, thank you.
On that. Yeah, we've got to do something.
But it's very frustrating for me when I hear people say, I'm going to run for school committee. Are you a moron? Really? Are you a moron? Who initiated Common Core? The National Governors Association was one of the big organizations that initiated Common Core. Where's Common Core coming out of? The United Nations. You think that your one little school board position is going to change a rat's ass thing? It isn't. Pull your kids out of the school and check that off. Don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time. It's foolishness. And it's so frustrating when I hear people. I'm like, are we living in the same reality? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? And if not, how come?
Yeah, exactly. I think you're hitting the nail on the head. And those that are, there's people that's just not catching on to what's going on.
Many people. Oh, look. No, Dianna, when I say, I don't wear a mask. Oh, I wear a mask, but look, it has Trump on it. Are you kidding me? And I think, and you're the person, right? Oh, I'm a big Second Amendment. Oh, really? You're wearing a mask and I'm going to count on you to protect anything? Right? Go get a life.
No masks. And that was one of the reasons we had that big rally today, is because we're just fed up. We're just not going to do it anymore. And it was great. We were in the park, and I got to tell you, almost nobody was wearing a mask in the park today. And it's a big park, a lot of people there doing this and that, but almost nobody was wearing a mask. That did give me some hope.
Where is this echo out of the blue starting up again?
I think they're messing with us.
Somebody is, yeah. Somebody doesn't want us to discuss these subjects that are very important.
No, but it's interesting. We see different things because we live in different states, right? But just because you live in Texas or Florida, you're not immune to this. You are not immune. when they take over, you're not gonna, what are you gonna do? Fight your way out of it? What are you gonna do? Look at the guy that's wearing a Trump mask and ask him to pull out his gun and shoot? Give me a break. He's gonna run for the the biggest cave that he can go and hide in. Give me a break.
I just happen to have my gun right here, so just since you asked.
No, but Doc, I know that you would put your money where your mouth is. My God, you wore a panty mask.
Yes. Yeah, well, they asked me, went to the VA, and they said, you got to wear a mask. I pulled out some red lace panties and put them on. And they didn't really take that very well. But I said, look, they handed me a mask. Don't wear this. And I said, I can't wear that. I don't know where that's been.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've gone into, now that here they took down the mandates here, except for the Marion County, our mayor is an idiot. And nobody's asked, are you wearing a mask? Now, a friend of mine told me today that he actually got asked if he had a vaccine card. And he was livid. What? He couldn't believe it. We could not believe it.
May I see your papers?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. He's like, he couldn't believe it. He looked at her and said, because he's like, I'm vaccinated. He's like, I don't have my card, and kept going. But he completely asked at the door for his card. I was floored. I was absolutely floored. That's the first time I heard anybody doing that. I couldn't believe it.
Powder X said there were people at the Phoenix Freedom Rally today wearing guns. Well, the cool part about Arizona is it is a Second Amendment state. You do not need to have a permit to carry a gun in Arizona. And when I was there for a week or so. It was great. I just saw regular Joes walking down the street carrying their weapons. This is before we got licensed open carry in Texas, so I thought it was pretty cool. So now I just paid the big fee and said, Mother, may I? And they said, yeah, since you did the FBI background check and all that cool stuff, yeah, we'll go ahead and let you carry a gun. Give me your money.
Yeah, they're here. They're starting to pass a law of no permit. It's passed in the House. They're waiting on the Senate. I've been waiting to renew because of that. If it passes, well, I'm not going to waste $100-something for a lifer, so I'm just waiting. What happens?
And I seen Diver Chick from Alabama in there. In Alabama, if you want to get a license to carry, you take your $25, you go into the cop's shop, they check you for wants and warrants, and if you don't have any, they issue you the license, you walk out with it.
Nice.
The way it should be. Except for maybe not even having to do that. Maybe just get up in the morning and say, wow, Luke 22:36, Jesus Christ said, if you don't have a gun, sell your coat and buy one. Therefore, that would be my permit. That's the 11th commandment. And I paraphrased that in modern English because at the time a sword was the finest military weapon that any man could own. It was an offensive military weapon. And Jesus Christ said, if you don't have a sword, sell your garment and buy one. So how do you get around that, Mr. Congressman?
How do you get around that? Let's see. By the laws. Everything. Changing it all.
Well, the Texas Senate, we had constitutional carry up. I thought Texas might be the 21st state, but the Texas Senate sent it back to the House with a codicil on there that said, if anyone in the federal government demands you surrender your weapon, you must surrender it. And the House is not going to pass that. So for that matter, we only meet every 2 years here in Texas. So the idea of legalizing the Second Amendment in Texas is dead for at least 2 more years.
Really? That long?
We only meet every 2 years.
Okay. All right. So you got to kind of hold your breath in the meantime?
Well, I've already got my licenses paid for. I got 4 more years left on it. So, I guess I'm all right in that respect. But these Democrats and a lot of the Democrats that are in the Republican Party down here, and there are a lot of those too, they are so stupid. I mean, I listened to the testimony on the floor. These stupid SOBs are down there saying the reason criminals don't have guns is because we have gun laws. So, yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, really? Is that how it is? The National Firearms Act of 1934 Yeah, we passed that so that criminals could not get fully automatic weapons. How's that working for you? No, criminals are always going to have guns. Criminals don't obey the law. That's the very nature of criminals. Here's what I want as a citizen, as a created man of God. Here's what I want. I want to be able to buy the weapon of my choice, whatever I can afford and operate. And I don't want to have a permit for it. And then when Mr. Criminal decides he wants to start some crap with me, I'm ready for him. That's the way I want it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Criminals don't follow laws, so they really just want to help. And Chicago has one of the most strictest gun laws there are. And look at the crime rate there.
Crime rates through the roof. Murder rates through the roof. Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Murder rates through the roof.
Mm-hmm. So, hello, government laws don't work.
Well, there's a city councilor in Boston, and I don't know her name. She was on a Zoom call recently and said that they have to do something.
Somebody's jamming.
They have to do something about the asphalt because it gets so hot leads to violence.
Wait. What?
Yes, that's what she said. They have to do something about the asphalt in the city because in the summertime it gets so hot that it leads to violence.
Are they wearing masks over their mouths to prevent oxygen from getting to the brains?
On the Zoom call, I don't think that's what she had on there, but this is what happens when you listen. The Chinese Communist Party runs Boston. They run Boston via the Chinese Progressive Association. They run Boston. People need to get it in their heads.
I agree. Oh, look what's running all over, though. Look what's going on in Washington.
Commies, the thing is, and you know what? Many of them have the ideology, Chris, of the left, of communism or totalitarianism or jihadism, whatever you want to say. But a lot of them are puppets. They're puppets for people in the United Nations, the CFR, the Trilateral Commission. That's where they're getting their directions. These people are owned. They're puppets. They are puppets. That's all they are. And the whole part of the Republican Party is to keep us busy doing things. That's what they do. The people who call themselves Democrats, they already say what their objectives are. It's the people who call themselves Republicans. They do what they do so that they can stay in power and they can not get booted by these more powerful people. But they all work together. That's what people have to get in their heads. They all work together. Did we talk about the National Governors Association last week?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, just take a look at the National Governors Association or the National Mayors Association. These people all work together against us. And you know who else isn't on our side? The police. They're not on our side. They're on the side of the government. You may have a few police officers who will actually adhere to their oath. But in my experience in Massachusetts, they work for the government. They don't work for us. They do not. What do we got going on here? What's going on here?
Oh, I think we're trying to figure out where the echo's coming from and whatnot. But you have a caller in queue, I'm being told. Rooster, is that correct?
Hey, good evening. This is Lisa calling in.
Well, hello, Lisa.
I can hear you pretty good. So, you know what? I wanted to kind of back up what Doc Green said. Owl Eyes was pretty optimistic. And, I I don't think that there's any among us that don't absolutely wish and hope that there is some validity to what she had to say. And in the perfect world and in this perfect government, what she said was correct. However, people have to get real and understand a couple of things. We have zero voter integrity, and that is right up at the top of the list. And the second problem is that, again, we have a corrupt Supreme Court. If those two combined are at the stage of where they're at right now, we are done. And I hate to say it, I'm the last person that ever wants to say that, but we are done. Those two last strongholds are the only way to, regain or retain any freedom in this country. When that last horse got out of the barn there, we are literally done. And Doc Green is absolutely correct. We are on a spiral downwards. And believe me, it pains me to say this. It absolutely pains me to say this. But this is the absolute truth. And, I don't know what to say. I hope that our eyes, outside of a biblical event, and let's face it, that can happen, right? God's in charge. But outside of an absolute biblical miracle, we are done.
I think you're right. I think you're right. We don't have something big happen. What do you think, Dianna?
No, but I agree. But again, I go back to, we have so much power and people aren't taking their power. Again, it might be different in your state, but it's not going to make a difference, right? We're all going to fall. If we fall, we're all going to fall. But if imagine if millions and millions of people pulled their children from these public schools. Imagine if millions of people stopped going to these commie churches and synagogues. Imagine, and these are simple things that you can do. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to post it on Facebook. Pull them out. Pull them out. Stop going. Stop paying, maybe, Lisa, what do you think?
She there?
I don't know if she's still there.
Oh, somehow she dropped off. Yeah, he's telling us. Hold on here. Rooster, if you can, reboot and see if that helps. Somehow we lost that call. We apologize to Lisa there for that. We're trying to figure out where this echo is coming from.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think? I mean, what do you think, Chris?
I think that's absolute. I can't really argue with that. Derek?
So why do you think people aren't doing these things? Why are people still believing that they can change this corrupt system that's been corrupt for at least 100 years? Why do they still think they can change it?
In my opinion, maybe because they're so indoctrinated into the system and believe in the government that it just flows in their life and they say whatever. They keep going, just go, oh, well. And what else could it be?
You want me to really say what I think?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it is? Or Derek?
Stupidity. It's stupidity. It's plain stupidity. They see everything. Chris, you said it. Right? Somebody was asked for their V card.
Yeah.
How much more information do you think? A year ago, did you think that you'd ever hear that?
No. Oh, never.
Right? Now they're doing it. And you're still putting your kids in these schools? You're still going to these churches? You're still going to ball games or football games? You're letting your kid play, baseball, but they have to wear a mask? Are you out of your mind?
Right.
Are people really out of their minds?
It is stupid. Derek, I think it looked like you're thinking about that.
Derek.
No, I've just been trying to figure out time where this echo's coming from. And I seen that Rooster signed off, so that eliminated that. And the only time I hear it is when Chris is talking or Diana's talking. When Doc's talking, I don't hear it, and I don't know if you guys hear one when I'm talking. So it's interesting that there is one.
Yeah, I hear it with you.
I don't know because, like I said, I only hear it between Diane and Chris. So that's what I've been sitting over here trying to go through, the process as to why there's an echo, and there wasn't one before the starting of the show. I don't know what changed in somebody's audio settings, but now you're getting one. I'm racking my brain right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing it with you, and I've muted and set the settings. It's still doing it, and so I don't know where it's coming from. I'm trying to figure it out on this end, so I don't know. I hear it with everybody talking. This is weird.
I think it started when Doc came in. But I don't hear it when Doc talks. I only hear it when Derik and Chris talk.
So I wonder, since he leaves his mic unmuted, I wonder if he's catching the audio. That'd be the only thing I could come up with, because I'm not hearing it from him, but then I'm hearing it from both of you, and then you two are hearing it from me. So I'm wondering if it has to do with him. He has his audio for some reason is going through his computer speakers and not his headphones. Then that would be the only other thing I could come up with.
Well, when I mute out, I still hear you guys, so I know it isn't on my end. So I don't know. This is interesting.
Think about it. If his audio is going through, and I know we probably shouldn't be discussing this, but if his audio is going through, see, why is his box lighting up when he's not there? So if his audio is going through his speakers, so everything that we're saying is going through the speakers through his microphone. That's why it's echoing. When he talks, his nothing's going through his speakers on his computer, so that's why he wouldn't be echoing. Because see, now I'm talking and his box is lighting up, so it's got to be.
Hey Doc, if you can hear us.
His sound is going through his speakers. Hey Doc, I want to do something for a minute. If you would mute your microphone on Zoom down in the bottom left corner, I want to test something.
Okay, give me a second, and I will.
All right, Chris. Now, do you hear an echo?
No, Diana, say something.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so Doc, we figured out what the echo is. Either one of two things. Either when you're not talking, you're going to have to mute, because somehow the audio from myself, Chris, and Diana is coming through your computer speakers to your microphone. That's why we've been echoing this whole time.
There it is. As
soon as I unmuted. That is crazy.
So when he talks, we'll mute, and then
that's what you're gonna have to do when someone talks. Everyone else is gonna have to mute, because if not, you're just gonna reverberate through Doc's microphone. Yes.
Nice job.
We fixed that.
Nice. Yeah, that's what it is, Doc. That's interesting. That's never happened before. Okay, so get back to Diana's question there. Why are people being like that? I have to agree that it is a stupidity. It is that they're falling into the trap of the government's nonsense and telling you must do this for the greater good or whatever the crap they want to feed us. And then when they are falling into that trap, they're blinded to what's really happening around them. That I have to say, Diana, you're on the spot with that. Stupidity is what I think is going on there.
And it doesn't make me happy to say it, right? But we need one another in order to win this. Today, I saw so many children, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, wearing masks outside. What parent is doing this? It is beyond my comprehension. Maybe you guys don't see it the way we see it here, because we really are in the grip. I think Satan's nest is here somewhere. Seriously, His den is somewhere in this state. And so maybe you guys don't see that, but I see it. And it is very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Follow the science. Masks don't work.
Right. And now then they're starting to say that you can start the V word on 12-year-olds. That's like forcing them into that. And that's an issue I have too. If parents are doing that, you're the problem. Point blank. That's what I think. Doc, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. And yeah, Dianna, we see it here too, because I saw kids going down the street, little kids with masks on, when even CDC says kids don't have to wear them, but little, I'm talking 6, 7, 8-year-olds. What? I don't get it. And it's like they're normal.
You know why? Because here's what I get when I say something. Oh, they transmit it. Are you off your rocker? Are you really off your rocker? Are you that stupid that you can't even think? Do you know how many people are sick and dying after they get this? Do you know how many? A friend of mine on Tuesday went to a funeral of her friend who took it, got so sick, got septic, organ failure, funeral. No pre-existing conditions to speak of. And this happened in Massachusetts. And people who are on our side, right? The Trump people, the conservatives, do you know how many of them are lining up because they want to travel, right? They're making every excuse in the book, right? Because they don't have the courage to say no. And we really think that especially the guys, right? All these tough guys, we really think that they're going to protect us. Ain't going to happen. If you're a guy and you're wearing a mask, but it says Trump on it or F Biden, right, Doc? Doc's laughing. It's true, right? Really? Oh, okay, tough guy. Okay, tough guy. Yeah, give me a break. Give me a break. That nothing is more sickening than seeing some grown-ass man wearing a mask. There is nothing more sickening.
I watched yesterday when I went to the store, I watched a family. All of them but the mom was wearing a mask. The little kids, the dad, but not the mom. They're walking just fine and dandy. And I'm kind of
had this, and they said, "Oh, she's good. She's got this. Look at that. Oh, look at this."
Doc, what were we going to say there? We'll mute while you
I wanted to change subject for a minute because Ed the Jew wants to know what do we think is going to happen out in Arizona with the recount. And I can tell you what they found so far is Trump is massively ahead in the recount in Arizona. The other thing they found is that some of the voting machine information has been erased. And the other thing that they found is that the routers, which are suspect, because they may show evidence that they were connected to other foreign networks, are currently being held by the election supervisors out there, and they will not hand them over for an audit. And Dominion's going nuts, too. I'm sitting here thinking, if I'm running a country or I'm running a company and you accuse me of malfeasance, I'm going to hand you all of the evidence because I want to be exonerated. So I'm going to give you everything you've asked for. These guys are not handing this stuff over because they know what it's going to show. And if that domino falls, there are 4 other states right behind it. So, but then what's really going to happen? Nothing. Because here's the way it works with American elections. Oh, wow, there's a lot of voter fraud in that election. Well, I hope you guys do better next time.
That's what's going to happen. I said this before, Doc. What's going to happen is Arizona is going to prove it. The other state's going to fall in line. Georgia already changed their laws to go, hey, guess what? Yeah, we're going to make this, more legit because they got caught. And then that's what's going to happen. They're going to go, okay, we prove this fraud. We prove it everywhere. Oh, but what are we going to do? Nothing. We won't do nothing about it.
Next time.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Derek?
Unfortunately, I hate to agree with you all on this, but you're probably right that nothing is going to happen. There may be some states change their election integrity laws like we've seen already. But I think something important that Doc just touched on, that Arizona is going to be the key that unlocks the lock, because when you see that the percentage of ballots that have already been counted in Maricopa County, and it's a high percentage of irregularities already, and that's just 25%. And if you notice today, Wisconsin, now they have filed to do an audit there as well. So now you have Arizona, now you have Wisconsin, and the point that I've been making with all this, and I think Doc kind of alluded to it, if the left is so confident that their guy won out in Arizona, then let this audit take place. If you think there's nothing to worry about because your guy won, then let this take place. Well, the sad news is the left is freaking out because they know two things. One, that these states had fraudulent elections, and they've had fraudulent elections for years. And two, their guy really didn't win, and it's coming to fruition that he did not win.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, Derek just laid it out. Now, what should happen if I were king? What would happen is, after they've proven this, we would say, okay, everything that has happened since January the 22nd is null and void. Everything reverts back. Every law that was passed, every piece of paper, it all reverts back. Every person who took office, gone. It reverts back to January 22nd, and we start over. But you see, the problem is we don't have anybody with enough balls to stand up and call for that to happen. And that is one more reason why I think the United States cannot be saved.
Okay, now, question then. Would that fall on the lawmakers, or would that fall on the people?
Oh, wow.
Well, it falls on the lawmakers, unquestionably. It should fall on the people, but the people, until their bellies are empty and there's no food on the shelves, the people are going to take any amount of indignity. In fact, I've discovered over the years that most people will accept any amount of indignity so long as it does not require them to do anything.
Exactly. And that's the sad part.
I'm ringing my bell for Doc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Cake Lady. Look, I'm not here to depress you. I would like to encourage you. I would like to tell you everything's going to be wonderful. But what I would also like to do, though, is I'd like all of you to take into account what I'm saying. And if you believe what I'm saying is true, decide what your part is going to be in the revolution. Because I think it's inevitable. I don't see any way around it. And I've made my preparations, and I'll do what I can do as an old guy. I can't run and jump and shoot like I could when I was a kid, So
You might be surprised what you can do, though. Little Red Bull, who knows?
It gives you wings.
Yes.
But
I have to say, this is getting good.
Why can't people multitask? So you can pay attention to what's going on in Arizona, right? And they're fighting really hard up in Windham, New Hampshire. Okay? Why can't you pay attention to those things and pull your kids out of school and get out of these corrupt churches and stop going to those ball games, stop buying Coke, get rid of cable? Why can't we do all of this? Because you have to have a fail safe, right? You have to have backup plan. What are you going to say, Derek?
Is this multitasking, or is this a honey-do list?
Oh. Wow. Let's back it around a little bit. You are able. Okay, looks like we got it taken care of. If you want to call in, we have about roughly 20 minutes left. We keep the calls short. You can call in at 855-616-1776, and we'll get you in. For 10 more minutes. There's the number. She's holding it up. 855-616-1776. Like we said, we're trying out the call-in feature, and we were figuring this out. So, we got somebody.
We got a bite.
Yeah, looks like it. Rooster, go ahead and bring him in. Dave, welcome to the show. Is he there?
I'm calling from Massachusetts, and I, in fact, are part of the posse up here. And I just wanted to, I haven't been able to follow the conversation. Your audio on the phone here is not really together yet, but I heard a few things earlier before I lost the audio connection. And thank you, Rooster, for putting me in here. I think Dianna mentions it and pushes it all the time. Get out on the street. We need to explain one-on-one what this Agenda 2030 is. So as Dianna says, we need boots in the ground, and in a friendly a friendly way, we need to get in people's faces and let them know what they're looking at here. I have a one-page summary. I use the New World Order UN words. For instance, I have the New World Order. What they say is my interpretation. So they say transforming our world. I say transforming our current world to the UN New World Order world. And it's the first paragraph. This agenda has a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. So I say, who's prosperity? All countries and stakeholders acting in a collaborative partnership. I don't know if anybody watches the Star Trek. It sounds like the Borg to me from the Star Trek series. We're going to be assimilated, whether we like it or not. Everybody rates equally, regardless of their efforts, which is nice. So we work our asses off, and we're just going to fall in line with everybody else. And further down in their writing, it says the UN is determined to end poverty and hunger in all its forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. Which does sound nice, but who gets the food and who gives up the food to provide? It's to ensure all human beings can fulfill their potential. So while we are fulfilling other people's potential, we're degrading our potential. So it's pathetic. But I've written all this down in a one-page thing. I'm going to start handing it out. And I'd like to say something that Dianna says all the time, too. You don't need to go out in a crowd. We try to always go out in a crowd because when you do that, people take more notice. But there have been days when Dianna has been out with a group doing things and I couldn't go. I was actually at a rally once and I was assaulted by BLM and I got arrested, believe it or not. But thankfully for me, we got a video to prove it's a non-warranted arrest. But anyway, I don't want to go on any more than that. But the fact of the matter is we need to get out there, even one-on-one. The day that she was out there and I couldn't be there, I went out myself. I went down to the end of the street of Route 6, and I sat out there with my American flag and my signs. I had one, get the Chinese Communist Party out of Massachusetts, and another one. Diana's got all the signs. So this is not just a group all-together effort. This is a group and individual effort. We got to take the time to do it all ourselves or together with a group. We got to make some noise out there. The other scumbag groups surely do, and they kind of have nothing to say. So. Anyway, thanks for letting me in, Rooster.
Well, Dave, we appreciate your input there.
All right, thank you.
Dave is a great patriot.
So you know him, Dianna?
Dave is a great patriot. I know him, and he's from our group, and I can say, what's that, Dave?
I say we're all trying.
Yep. And Dave has been in the throes of the commies coming after us. He actually has 2 court cases of BLM people that came after us, and the charges got reversed. I told you, you can't trust the police. Not in our state. They don't work for us. They work for the other team. So, and Dave has felt the brunt of that, and he knows. And he's been out there by himself or with us in the rain, in the cold, and that's what it's going to take. But people, for whatever reason, have cowered. They have cowered, but Dave hasn't.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
They want to shut us up. As a matter of fact, that's a good example Dianna makes because they want to shut us up. And they sort of have done that. My council has said, no, You can't go to the rallies anymore because they're going to come out for me. I got a target in my back because they want, if I get in any more trouble, which wasn't my trouble in the first place, they're going to take advantage of it and arrest me right then and there. And the other thing is, like the poor My Pillow guy, they're trying to, put him out of business. So what do? They try to bleed you from time and money. I'm out $7,000 already for this bullshit. Yeah. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, we couldn't hit the beat button quick enough. So you're all right. Doc, what do you think on that? I guess he's just pondering it.
No, he has to unmute. He has to unmute. Unmute, Doc.
He's probably playing his guitar in the background.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me in there, Rooster, and the lady and gentlemen. Good night.
Bye, Dave.
The UN, they've got lovely blue helmets, and if you've never had the opportunity, a red dot on a blue helmet is very visible and makes it really easy. I should tell you today, when we showed up in the park to have our rally, immediately somebody called the cops on us, and the cops came over and said, well, you don't have a permit, so you can't be here. And we very carefully explained to the cop that we have the same permit that the BLMers have, and that we're going to have our rally. And we had our rally. And the cop, by the way, actually agreed with us at one point. He said, well, they said I have to cite you. He called them and told them, look, it would be a bad idea to give these guys a ticket. Because I'd already said, yeah, cite us. Let's all go to court. This will be fun. So we had our rally. And everybody had a good time. You people have to make the decision. How bad do you want it? Because let me tell you how bad I wanted it. I was ready to go there if it went there. Simply this, to ask the cop, is this the hill you want to die on? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am there. There are some things that are worth dying for. There are some things that are worth killing for. And if you're not willing to kill for what you believe, you've already lost. So now I've made sure I won't be on this show again. But
no, I will always have you on. You are always welcomed on.
I'm very serious, guys. And the reason we have that, and I saw somebody in the chat basically referencing that. The reason we have that is because we're afraid. And as long as you're afraid, you're never gonna be able to win this.
Amen.
Yeah, but see, Doc, I think you can be afraid, right? But you have to pull up your panties and your tighty whities, right? You can.
Well, that's courage. Being afraid, but saddling up anyway. I think John Wayne said that.
And that's what I mean. So you can have the fear, but we can't let it stop us, because again, you and your family are going to go, okay, yeah, we want to go into the V car. We want to go into that V train car. See ya.
Yep.
It's true.
It is. It is absolutely true, Diana. I mean, that's where it's heading. That is where it's heading.
Listen, I have never heard an elected Republican official, whether they're a state rep, a state senator, on the Republican State Committee, none of them mentions the fact that the Chinese Communist Party has a business here in Massachusetts that is making our MBTA cars. They're making them. We have the current governor, who's a Republican, right? Who was at the plant out in Springfield, which is in the western part of the state, taking selfies there for one
Republican in name only.
Right, but the point is, you can call me every name in the book, call me crazy, call me this. You prove to me, you show me where one Republican elected person, present or former, has mentioned the fact that the Chinese Communist Party business is making our MBTA cars. We don't have a problem? Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, I told you Joe's in bed with China. You know, it's part of the Agenda 2030.
We've 1.8 billion.
This was happening before Joe Biden. This was happening. We've been, what people don't realize, we have been sold out for so long. For so long.
Yep. And in a minute, well, I was going to show you because I wanted to answer your question earlier, Diana, where you said, are people really, this stupid and what's going on? So with that, I want to throw this out because we didn't get to do our song on top of the hour, but I'm going to throw this out. Yes, Diana, people are really this stupid. And here's why. And I think y'all can appreciate this because how everybody's seen this, right? Look what's going on here. Do we see that there? What is she doing?
Oh my God. Was that in Massachusetts? I think that was that Massachusetts?
I don't know if it is in Massachusetts or not, but what's funny about this?
It's not Massachusetts.
Is after this video went out, they had to put out there, hey, everybody, don't do this. It's like you had to tell them to not put gasoline in plastic bags, okay? And she's going to put this in the trunk of her car. Now, this is what cracks me up about this. I'm timing. How long do you think it's going to take to that gasoline?
It's going to dissolve the bag.
Yep. Not approved cans, but we're going to put it in a baggie. Now, here we go. With the trunk. I give it 2 minutes.
Oh, my God.
So,
you see, I grew up on a ranch. I know some things about gas, but don't they teach science anymore?
No, because they're trying to stop, what do you call it? They're trying to make you not do what you could do in schools anymore. You know what I mean? You can't learn. So
what's the worst case scenario here? but Doc, you talked about do they teach science? Yeah. The only science they teach is there's 8,762 genders, and you have to pick one of them.
Yeah, Karen in the chat room said, "Where's her zip ties?"
That video went crazy viral, okay? And I shared it over on Your Voice, Your Call on Twitter, Facebook, and I thought it was just too funny because that's what people were doing. And they actually had to come out and give a public message. Do not put gasoline in plastic bags. That's how stupid this is. It's like common sense is gone, absolutely gone. And so there you go, everybody. That's what's happening. And it's asinine. Oh my gosh. We are down to our last 9 minutes roughly. And I am so tickled. This show's been going good. We had a couple echo issues and we figured out who was at fault. That inadvertently.
So Chris, I think that was gasoline.
Nice pun.
Yeah, Patriot said, I'm surprised she wasn't holding a cigarette.
Oh, it gets better. There's a video of somebody that actually had approved cans in the back of the car and got rear-ended, and guess what happened to the car? Bluey. Yeah, there's a video of that. And then somebody has some in their car caught on fire, and the car burned, the gasoline helped fuel it, but it's not related to it, but they were trying to make it look like it was.
The Darwin Award is right.
The better one, Chris, was people were using plastic totes and putting it in there.
I heard of it, but I didn't see the video.
Because gas is not going to eat through plastic, Yeah.
Okay. So, quick question before we get ready to see the next show coming on. Do you think the government is directly the cause of this nonsense with the gasoline?
Duh.
Yes.
And I hope everybody out there in chat's paying attention to that too. I saw somebody say, it's not the government's fault. The gasoline prices are going up. I had to bite my tongue so I didn't get put back in Facebook jail because that was the dumbest response I saw of the day.
Well, I'm still on all total right now. When my ban ends on YouTube on July 7th, I will have had a 6-month ban on YouTube this year.
Holy cow!
First time because I posted my video from Washington, D.C. on January the 6th. After that ban expired, I did 3 shows, and then I did a show called Communism is Not Just a Word, and then they gave me another 90-day suspension.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. You have to sometimes check out a show where I actually beat them at trying to censor one of my shows, and they ended up keeping it up. That proved to them the article I used is for the word we don't say was by an actual news article, not like it was made up. So,
they did give me a second community strike, and I protested. They retracted the community strike, so I'm back to 1. But nonetheless, if I can't put up a show, what difference does it make?
Well, we're going to have to get you on all the rest of these shows. And just if we're saying that, we're down to 8 minutes of the show, and I'm going to let everybody know you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. And the website is in the middle being built. We will have more shows on there. Also, everybody, and thanks to the Common Sense Show and Derek, we are also on Frank's Speech. Yes, I'm so tickled about that. You will see the re-airing of the show tomorrow for that. That is so awesome. And thanks there, Derek. I want to thank Doc for joining us tonight. We're getting ready to close out the show. Doc, thank you. And you are welcome on anytime. No matter what.
Well, thank you very much. I do want to make a commercial plug for the Fredonia Technology Company. We have started a technology company here in Texas with a server farm to eliminate the ability of somebody like GoDaddy to just shut down your website.
Nice.
And it's run by a patriot that I personally know. So it's a good deal.
And where can they find you at, Doc?
Well, they can always find Right Side of the Mic TX on Facebook. You can go to avrn.tv. And after this week, Right America Media, rightamericamedia.com. I will be up every day live on rightamericamedia.com.
Great. Nice. Check that out, everybody. We'll drop the links in for you. And Dianna, as always, thank you for joining us tonight. This was a good discussion, a good show. Thank you, always.
Thank you, Chris, as always. Nice to see you, Doc and Derek. And thank you, Rooster, for getting the calls in there.
Yep, I'll get out of that. Rooster, thank you for testing out the call feature. We may work with this and tighten it up and have a pretty good call-in setup going.
Yeah, I just want to know how many times Derek laughed at me thinking it was my fault for the echo.
I wonder. So that's what
I had to sit there and diagnose this in my head real quick because it was weird that I was getting echo when I was talking, Chris was getting echo when he was talking, and Diane was getting echo when she was talking, but Doc wasn't. So I'm like, well, he leaves his mic open. So the only thing I could come up with is he has sound coming from his speakers. And as soon as he turned his mic off, everything was A-okay. So I was like, I just had to diagnose this. But you know what? You were going to be the second plaintiff if it wasn't him.
Yeah, because I knew
I always thought it was the primary because I'm not usually one causing the problems.
Not this time.
I gladly accept that mantle.
Yeah, he reset his computer to make sure it wasn't him. But while he did that, we figured out it was Doc. So we got that taken care of. And I was so tickled. Derek, that was smart thinking there. I didn't even think about that idea if it was on his end. But my system was going, we're good. So I don't know. And so coming up next here momentarily, I see Thumper lining up here for Hyperdrive. And I'm sure he's got a pretty good show lined up for us. But he's not quite ready because I was going to ask him, what is he going to talk about tonight? 1 minute, he says. 1 minute.
Chris, what are you going to talk about tomorrow on your show?
I got a couple ideas, a couple of subjects we can get to. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be.
What time is your show on Sundays?
2 p.m. right here in PSB, live.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about how I'm just glad to be here because I just finished painting the whole front side of my house, cleaning up the mess and all that. So I'm here.
You made it.
If you're still interested in painting houses, I know a person that has a house that needs painting.
Really? Yeah. Well, I charge hotel bill and paint and it's a cost plus job. All right.
Well, I have the paint. The person has the paint, sorry, and they have extra room, so that's taken care of.
Transportation to Indianapolis from Spokane.
two thumbs and two legs.
Yeah, and a roller in my back pocket, right?
Yeah.
I charge $3 a mile.
And spray gun. I am so thrilled we had everybody on tonight, and I appreciate everybody out there watching us. Without you, we wouldn't have a show. So tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. and see what I might come up with. Maybe Thumper will hang around. Maybe he won't. We'll see. Sometimes he hangs around and we get some good stuff going out there. So with that, I want to say good night, everybody. We really appreciate it. And everybody out there, stay tuned. Hyperdrive's up next. I will get our closer. And Thumper, this time, what's closing that your starter?
I will not get. I had it. I was getting click, and all of a sudden, I clicked to open my, and yours wasn't done yet. My apologies.
That's okay. I didn't realize it until moments after, and I was like rewatching it for Ari, and I go, "Oh, that's okay." No, because I'm glad you can do that. If something comes up, you can take over if something happens. So
actually, if you between shows, if they've got a closer going out and you want to come in right after that one, you hit the share. You'll get the little warning thing says that if you continue, you're going to kill their share, but you don't actually kill the share until you hit share. So as soon as your closer ends, then I click mine and start it up, and I just got an itchy mouse finger.
Well, that's okay. We all get itchy once in a while. So with that, I will see you all tomorrow. You all have a great evening. We'll close out the show. Dianna will be on next Saturday. Our producer, Derek, thanks again.
Hi, Dianna. I didn't even say hi to Dianna. Hi. I didn't mean to ignore you. And Derek, too. Yes, Derek. And Rooster.
Or maybe they all can tune in while you're doing your show. I'll get the closer. Love you, everybody. And stay tuned because I'm sure he's got something great for us. So here we go. And, Thumper, you can, fill it out in a minute.
I'll let it play. Good evening, hyperdrivers. You're about to begin another journey to 40,000 light years, if we can find the keys to the TR-3G. As you board the craft, please find your seats and make yourself comfortable after storing your carry-ons in the overhead bins or underneath your seat if you so choose to do that. We have prior permission from the tower, so we'll be backing away here just in moments. So please find your seats, make sure your seat backs and your table trays are in the full upright positions. You know that. We say it every week, 3 times a week. And we will be closing the, I just got word, everybody's on board. Alrighty. We're backing away from the gate now. The door is closed. So, ladies and gentlemen, our journey begins now. 3, 2, 1.